name is Sylvia, and I'm building an AI project that checks for mental health issues. Description of the project of the problem, is that there are a lot of people in our communities with mental health issues, and these people, some of them don't know that they're having mental health issues. This has affected their behaviors and attitude. According to my research, this is the data set I'm going to be using that will be used by the machine to check for mental health issues. The reasons why I chose this data set is that it has well-explained, well-labeled features that can easily be used that can easily be understood while reading this data set in such a way that you can clearly see that this is the age, the gender, the country. So these features enable you to use the data set without any inconveniences. Then it has enough data for both testing and training the system. For example, you can see this is just a screenshot, but it's having data, and some of it can be used for testing, and the other, which I didn't screenshot, it can be used for training the model. Then the data set caters for a wide range of people. For example, it's asking whether you're married, so it's catering for the married people. Then it's catering for the self-employed and those ones who are employed, so that it covers a wide range of people. Then the data set has the data in the different features is precise in a way that you cannot get confused while using the data sets. For example, you can see when it asks for your family background, whether it had mental health issues, it's either a yes or no. So you can't get confused, or like it doesn't have, I don't know. So it's either a yes or no. When training your model, you'll be able to tell that this one had a mental health issue in their family background or no. There is not sure in the data set. So it's better to use Bayesian theory. This is a theory that is used to determine conditional probabilities in such a way that it is used to predict an occurring event given that the other event occurred, another event has occurred. For example, in my project, you can be able to know that this person is having mental health issues basing on the stress he's having at work or the trauma at home. Yes. Then naive Bayes theory. This is a theory that it assumes that its input is independent, its input features is independent in such a way that your stress at work does not connect to your stress at work does not connect to how traumatized you are at home. That's why this theorem is naive. It's considered to be naive because it does not connect the input features. So there are advantages and disadvantages in such a way that naive Bayes theory, it is simple and effective for calculating probability. It is easy to implement on other models, and it requires small amounts of data to estimate the test data, which minimizes training. It requires very little data to test and also train your model. Then the disadvantages is that its data, when its inputs are assumed to be independent from one another. Bayes network, this is a type of graphical model that uses probability to determine occurrence of an event in such a way that it's using graphs to determine the occurrence of an event. For example, it's going to use whether you have your symptoms, and it will relate to see whether you're having mental health issues. And it also has advantages and disadvantages. For example, the disadvantages: collecting data needs an expert in knowledge of collecting data so that he or she is able to collect the right information. Then it's difficult to go back to change the loopholes that were done when you're collecting your data. Then the advantages is that it's suitable for collecting incomplete data sets. It is suitable for collecting small data. You can use it for small data sets. So there are differences between Bayesian theory and naive theory, in such a way that Bayesian theory is used to calculate conditional probabilities, and yet naive is just it's picking knowledge from Bayesian theory. It's like a subset of Bayesian theory. Then also there is a difference between naive and Bayesian networks, in such a way that Bayesian networks presents its data in form of a graphical, it's a probabilistic graphical model that uses Bayesian interfaces for probability computation, while naive Bayes is a probabilistic classifier based on applications of Bayesian theory. Because naive is basically based on applications of Bayesian theory. For more information, you can go to these references, because this is where I was referencing from, where I was getting a lot of this information which I've been sharing with you.